Hello, we got a new event in the contingency contract menu. Basically, we get to play some normal stages, but with a bunch of risks added. We have 718, EOS 4, the Drone Hell stage and the Hell stage. Now, calling it contingency contract and normal stages is accurate, but we have a new system introduced for it, and I think the new system is rather excellent, so I want to go over it. Now you can see this risk is fixed, we can't actually take it off. This one, we have to pick one or the other. And these are 0 points, this is just the base difficulty of the map. After that, we have to pick all of these other things to get to at least 15 points. Now, before we get to the optional risks, let me just read to you what these risks are, so you can see how many things are added to the map. Patriot doesn't take smoke breaks anymore, he just rushes straight through. He has 90% damage reduction, but loses it slowly while he's blocked, and gains it back if unblocked. Patriot is invincible for longer in phase 2, does more dot damage, the spear does more damage. All enemies gain 100% health and 25% attack, and gain resistance. We can only leak 2 enemies, so Patriot cannot be leaked because he takes 2 lives. And finally the optional one. Patriot and all regular enemies gain 150% health and 50% attack speed. So you can see just from this the enemy stats go through the roof. This is enough, especially with how quickly Patriot moves through now without the smoke breaks, that I'd consider this basically unplayable without 4 stars. Sorry, with 4 stars. I say that, but I'm still gonna give it a try later on stream and we'll see what happens. To get the full rewards, we need at least 15 risks from here. And the only thing locked behind the rewards are this stuff, backgrounds and some stuff for the bases. So there's no resources or key rewards, this is purely for fun basically. Now, without meta operators you're probably screwed in this event because it's really difficult. Just these 2 risks together, without adding anything else, is already much higher than basically any contingency contract map we've ever had. We're already into high risk just with this, and I think that's awesome. I've talked on stream a bunch about how it's basically impossible to make content that's engaging for like a bunch of meta 6 stars and for a bunch of other random operators, because the difference in power is so big. This event is only concerned with meta variant people. If you want to use your meta 6 stars and actually get to push them to the limit, this is the game mode for that. I'm really interested in it, even if I won't be able to play it much myself, just so I can see what people come up with. Because the maps are actually suited to the kits of 6 stars now, so you actually have to get to use them to their full power. I'm really interested to see what people do this and hope they update this event. I hope it's well liked, because I enjoyed looking the clears with 6 stars on these maps. Even if I have no interest in playing it myself, it actually made the 6 stars look interesting, because they couldn't just stomp over everything. They had to be used very precisely. There seems to be plans to have this as a recurring event. I really hope they update it once a month with some new maps. Even if I don't play them myself, I'll take a look at the 6 stars clears, because I thought they were fun. Also, I would really like to see this system of risks used for normal CC, even if maybe the numbers shouldn't be quite as high, so it's more accessible for more people. The reason I like this system is because when you can't actually beat the CC with every difficulty turned on, what you're going to do is try to reduce the way you interact with enemies to just one thing, like use ranged operators and DPS them, use melee operators and block them and out-heal them, and then take risks that don't interfere with that. For example, you stack all of the enemy attack up risks and then you just take a bunch of ranged operators and shoot them. So you make the risk less effective. This is why we often have situations where melee operators are basically useless in contingency contracts, even outside of the maps, because melee operators actually have to get hit and the stats in contingency are often so stupid you can never get hit. These maps don't do that. Like, you can notice the enemy attack increase, isn't that high. You can realistically block them with a melee operator and not have them instantly explode. But their health is very high, so you do need high damage. And you'd have a mix of both before you even get to the other risks. So you can't just take all the attack up and then shoot them at range. They already have the health increase. And they have the attack, so you can't just block them easily. I think having the stat buffs in a forced risks is a really good idea. Because you can't just play around and take risks that you then avoid interacting with. This forces you to actually interact with the increased difficulty the stage provides. I think it's a really great idea, and I hope we see this risk setup in the next CC. I'll be really interested in that. Though, obviously, slightly adjusted stat-wise, so it's accessible to a larger portion of the community. Alright, that's about it. Probably unplayable for 4 stars, but I think a place where you can actually use all of your meta 6 stars is a great idea, and I hope they update this event regularly. I'll stream this later, see if we can cheese at least one win on any of the maps. Bye for now.